Well, there's a lot of reasons. Obviously, the first and most obvious one is Brew finally picked him. And, I mean, even the Lakers, even the GOAT, can't overcome the curse of Broussard. I should have known it. I should have tried to convince him not to. But alas, it was too much. Listen, I was wrong, America. Now, was I wrong about the series? We'll find out tonight or Wednesday or at some point if and when the Nuggets win the fourth game. But even no matter what happens over the next week, my analysis after game one and going into the series was incorrect. Because the reason I had that boundless optimism was I thought the Lakers would be able to do throughout the series what they did in game one, which is score with great ease at any time, and I didn't think the Nuggets were going to score 130 a night. Half of that was correct. The first half, the most important part, was dead wrong. The Nuggets have been far better in the clutch. They have been the more resilient team. They look like the fresher team, and this is not, I am not putting this at the doorstep of Darvin Ham. This is a compliment to the Nuggets head coach, not an indictment on the Lakers head coach. The Nuggets instantly recognized, oh, the D'Angelo Russell situation is a disaster for the Lakers. And I think manipulated like the Lakers into leaning into it. I do not think it was coincidental that immediately after game one, Mike Malone's like, that's an interesting storyline. Are they going to play him or not? And Bruce Brown talked about it, almost daring the Lakers keep him on the court, knowing that D'Angelo's a guy that can get temperamental, that up and down, and also knowing, and we can show it to you quickly, that when D'Angelo's on the court, the Lakers are annihilated, and in the 65 minutes he's off the court, they have won resoundingly. Now, to be clear, Brew, I am not saying you take D'Angelo Russell off and the Lakers are leading this series, but I think it would be 2-1 potentially, not 3-0. So a lot of reasons. Most notably, I think, is that matchup and the fact that the Lakers are wearing down at the end of these games for a reason that I can get into briefly. That's why they're down 0-3, and, of course, because you picked them.
Let me address me picking them because obviously I drop what cogent analysis.
Facts.
I know you were going to say who knows what you're going to say. Oh. But anyway, I knew deep down inside that this was going to happen.
Well, then why did you pick them?
Because as the analyst I could see that Denver was the better team. Yeah. You could tell after game one. I grew. What did I say? When I came on here before the series and said I'm picking the Lakers, I said, I've grown tired of betting against LeBron.
Yeah. But that was more. That was more feeling.
That was more heart.
Tired of that than getting series
I was at
wrong?
LeBron's first game. It was heart. All right. I covered that for the New York Times. But I knew. I always knew. All right. But here's why I knew. Because Denver, and I think Nick will admit
How are you saying
even though he tried to put it all on D'Angelo Russell.
No, I didn't put it all on
D'Angelo Russell. He comes up here and puts it all on D'Lo.
No, I was not trying to be clear. I was not trying to do that. No, I think it's the biggest issue in the Lakers lineup, but the Nuggets have been better.
Okay.
The Nuggets have been the better team. But
the Lakers are a very good team, obviously, right? But for as good as they are, they have beaten up on some broken teams. Teams that just weren't as balanced. Memphis obviously was all interior, driving to the paint. No three-point shooting for the most part. Golden State was all perimeter. Afraid to freaking shoot the ball at the rim because of Anthony Davis. So they're shooting all threes. Denver, of course, is balanced. They got Jokic inside. They've got great three-point shooting. And they have made mincemeat out of this league best defense, supposedly. But also, the teams the Lakers beat were broken. Memphis was broken physically because Steven Adams, Brandon Clark are out, and emotionally because of the whole Ja Morant thing. And Golden State was broken emotionally because, as you said, a lot of the season, I mean, they all admitted it after.
Hold on, Brew.
Then I denied it? Brew. But when the head coach, Steve Kerr, and Draymond Green come out and say, and Jordan Poole for that matter, that the punch did it, I'm going to believe.
Hold on a second, though. This is.
I haven't even gotten to my main point.
Okay, well, let me just respond to it quickly. This is the definition of revisionist history.
No.
You picked the Grizzlies knowing the injuries. You picked the Warriors to win the
I'm
title
not saying,
knowing the punch.
No.
And so, but
I'm
now
not saying I shouldn't. I'm not taking back my pick if you can do that. I'm just saying those teams were limited.
Well,
this team is a balanced team that is whole emotionally as well. Like, they've been healthy all year. They believe in themselves. They're well, you know what I mean? That's all I'm saying.
Sure.
I wasn't trying to,
got it. I got it. Go
say,
ahead.
you know, no, I didn't pick those. But also, here's the graphic that shows how dominant the Nuggets have been.
Crushing.
Look at, they're shooting freaking 50% against the Lakers for the series. 41 from three. You're not beating anybody that's shooting 41% from three unless you're shooting that yourself. And then the offensive rating, Nick, and you might know this,
all-time greatest.
124.1. Yes, Sacramento had the all-time best this year, which was 119. And then the points per game, 119 would have been second in the league this season. They are destroying the Lakers' main strength, which is defense.
That's correct. Go ahead, Wildes. But before we move on, I want to add something else. But you go ahead.
Well, what about Rui Hachimura? I heard after game one,
he was
Darvin Ham's like, don't
Russell.
worry, we're fine, trust me. And he's had no answer. And I think Mike Malone took offense to that. It's like, what? I feel like there's a level of disrespect for Denver. Even this question a little bit, like they came after the media, after like, hey, even when we win, you guys talk about the Lakers. And I'm like, no, we don't. Biggest reason the Lakers are down 0-3. I just feel like the Nuggets have been disrespected by everyone except old KW.
Okay, I agree with you that the Nuggets have been an afterthought for much of the media. And when we have said all year the West is wide open, it was in large part because the number one seed with the two-time MVP most did not fully believe in. No one on this show said Rui Hachimura. In fact, we made a point to say that neither one of us thought Rui Hachimura had solved Nikola Jokic. It was an interesting wrinkle. I would say, since game one, Nikola Jokic is not the reason the Lakers have lost the last two games. Now, listen, he's been good or very good in each of those games. But Jamal Murray's performance in the fourth quarter of game two and in the first half of game three is what killed him. But can I just revisit one other thing that I said at the beginning about this team wearing down?
Yeah.
Okay, this is why I said last week, I don't even remember what series we were talking about, but I said one of the things I love about the NBA playoffs is everything matters. Every bill eventually comes due. Right. And you are seeing it across series. The Boston Celtics go to the finals, bring everyone back. Everything's flying high. Their head coach gets involved in an infidelity scandal, and it appears to be the bill that has come due at the end of the year. The Golden State Warriors are defending a title. They have a veteran punch a young guy. That bill came due. The Los Angeles Lakers decided, against the advice of nearly everyone, to roll into this season with Russell Westbrook playing a prominent role. They started 2-10, and because of that, their playoffs started a month before everyone else's. And that bill appears to be coming due at the altitude in Denver or at the end of these games, when an aging team that does not have a deep rotation at this point in the postseason is leaning on LeBron James at 38 years old to play 42 minutes when it is his second straight month of the playoffs, when for everyone their first month is just ending.
Remember, he missed a lot of those games.
Well, no, but he came back on March 23rd. So what is today? May 22nd. No, and he played 7 straight games to end, then the play-in, which went to overtime. Point is, what were the Nuggets doing over the last month of the season?
Chilling officially.
Jokic kind of threw away a chance at the MVP. They were resting. The Lakers have been playing must-win games for a couple months now, and they look tired. They look worn down. That's not bad luck. That's because you dug yourself a hole by starting 2-10.
the Heat have done that too.
That is correct.
And they're fine.
That is correct. They're not the age the Lakers are, and they're not leaning on as short of a rotation, I would argue.
Drew, are you saying there's a chance?
I'll be brief. No. Your turn.
Oh, okay.
I mean, no. Everybody's waiting for the LeBron game. It ain't coming.
It might have been Game 6 against the Warriors. That might have been his high watermark of this postseason.
You don't think it comes tonight?
No. If LeBron could take over one of these games like the old LeBron,
He'd have done it in Game 3.
You're down 3-0. You're going to wait till you're down, your backs are against the wall, literally? No. Look, LeBron has played well. 24, 10, and 9.
Yep.
Those are great numbers. 48% shooting, even though he's not hitting threes. Those are star numbers. To come back from 3-0 be the first time ever, I don't need star numbers. I need LeBron numbers. Mm-hmm. And even with LeBron numbers, it ain't happening. No, they're not. The Nuggets are the better team.
The Nuggets are,
and the Lakers will not come back, even with LeBron.
The Nuggets are the better team. I obviously, if you offered me an even money bet, would not be saying, yeah, I'll take the Lakers to win 4 straight. I'm not writing it off as possible the way Brew is, and I'll tell you why in a moment. But first, I have a question for Wildes, and it's an important one. I just want to make sure I understand the rules of engagement here. If LeBron were to win 4 in a row and win this series, but then lose in the next round, it would be bad for him, right? I'm just curious. It would be bad for him, correct? I'm asking, Wildes, I'm asking an honest question.
That's
if he were to expend all the energy, have the first ever 3-0 comeback, but then they were to let's say they get swept in the finals, that's then bad for him, correct? Those are the rules.
Spinning it forward
I'm asking.
to a Michael Jordan debate.
Who brought up Michael
LeBron
Jordan?
is about to
Who
get
brought
swept.
up Michael Jordan?
Don't play his game.
Who brought up
It is
Michael
not.
Jordan?
I am with you.
I'm asking.
I am with you in that because I've discussed this.
Yes,
before.
about losing in the finals.
Yes.
So is this? It's
And
better.
This
Some
is a
people
verbal
do think it would be
3-card
worse.
Monty.
No.
Some
Go
people think
for it.
4 and 7 in the finals
would be worse.
Here's the look.
So
it would
might be
great.
bad
I think
for him to
Wildes
come
may
back.
agree with me. It would be great if LeBron did this.
Yeah.
And then if he lost in the finals, the only place it might hurt you is in a GOAT debate.
In the
That's
GOAT
it.
debate,
But
he'd be
outside of
better
that,
losing tonight.
Well, no,
or
it's
Wednesday.
just that
no,
4 and
it would.
7, 6
exactly,
and 0.
4 and 7. So I got
still,
the answer I wanted.
4 and 6 ain't
No,
working
I got
either.
it. No,
So
I got it. But
it's
it
better
would
to
be
get there.
for the GOAT debate. He wants to lose one of these games probably because if they were to come back, he'd be so exhausted. Hey, how could they possibly win the finals? But that's neither here nor there.
You still got a chance. Really.
Here's what I'll say. I'll say this. Denver, in March, before Jokic started taking games off, had a 4-game stretch against mediocre teams. Jokic played all 4, 2 at home, 2 on the road. They lost all 4.
Is that the Rockets?
So
in there? That's when
the Spurs were in there. The Knicks were in there. There are a couple of I don't have the schedule in front of me. I looked at it beforehand. I'm going to say one other part. If the Lakers win tonight, Game 5 becomes a little screw tightening for Denver because they then know Game 6 we got to go back to Los Angeles. And it's for you. The stat everyone talks about is 0 and 1. And everything, 149. What I think is even more noteworthy is that only 3 teams, Brew and I were talking about this before the show, have even forced a Game 7. So 146 of the 149 have won in either Games 4, 5, or 6. I think it'll be interesting. They win tonight. I think tomorrow's show's interesting. I think
What is your
Wednesday's
answer?
Any belief? My answer is yes. I'm like Nikola Jokic. Blame me. I'm just like Nikola Jokic.
Nice.
You know what? Because they have
believe.
LeBron,
Okay.
I think it's on the board.
Okay.
It's on the board. Another thing on the board, somewhere on the board, is that tonight's LeBron's last playoff game.
That's not on the board.
Was.
Is Murray's Denver's MVP?
So Jokic is clearly their MVP. I think Murray has been the difference in the series.
Well, somebody's going to get this award. Let's say they gave the award right now. Who would you give it to?
So it's
because I feel you that it's tough.
I wasn't really. I guess you know what, this is maybe a bad job by me. I was not even really thinking about that. This is now an actual award. I was thinking about this more kind of in the way we talk about.
Right.
So everything runs through Jokic, and it was critical, by the way. The key moment of Game 3 was the 8 minutes he was on the bench in the third quarter with foul trouble that the Nuggets didn't fall apart when I think a lot of people thought they would. But Jokic for the series is 27, 15, and 11 on only, and I only say only because of his standards, 52%.
But 45 from 3.
I think the Lakers would have signed up for that.
Yeah.
I think the guy shot 60% in the regular season. It's about the only thing that's well above his average there is rebounds. I think if you said it's going to be 27, 15, 11 on 50% for Jokic, Lakers would have said, okay. Murray's 35, 7, and 5. And that is, to me, so Jokic has been more valuable, but Murray has been the guy that has tipped the series because they were not banking on 35, on 52, 45 splits for him.
It's tough. I mean, whichever one gets it, I am going to have no problems with it, unless something crazy happens in Game 4, or whenever they win it. I was all set to go with Murray because you're right. I mean, he 30 points yesterday in Game 3, which showed, or Saturday
30 points
night
in the first half. Yeah.
That showed the Lakers. Oh, they're not taking this game off. You know what I mean? Like when they come out and give you 30 in the first, or he does, that showed that okay, we're in a dog fight.
Yep, that's right.
And so that was tone setting. Obviously, the 23 points at the end of Game 2 was the key. But as I really looked at it, I'd have to go slightly Jokic because, as you said, everything runs through him. Rebounding has been a huge part of this series. They've out-rebounded the Lakers because he's averaging a series-high 15. He's also averaging a series-high in assists. And they've had 11 more offensive rebounds than the Lakers. He has the most offensive rebounds
Jokic credit,
in
he's
the
held
series.
up defensively.
And then he had 15 points in Game 3 on Saturday in the fourth quarter.
Yep. Quickly, he told Mark Spears after the game, I don't think I get enough respect. Every time I see you rank his guys, I think that's crazy. But if I win a chip, it changes everything.
That's Murray who
said
that?
Murray said that to Mark Spears. If he wins this award, like if Joker could be like, man, I hope he gets it, I think it would do wonders for his confidence to go even to the next level when he gets to the finals, to let him get some hardware. Joker has plenty. I think it'd be good for the team dynamic if he wins this award.
There'd be no problem with him getting the award. And let me say this, because we put so much on these awards, right? Like, I have never slighted the team superstar if he doesn't win the finals MVP. Kareem's got 2 finals MVPs in his 6 years.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Magic had 3 of his 5 championships, Kareem 6 rings. So I just think it's ridiculous that people almost want to take away a ring if a guy's not the finals
but remember
MVP.
Clay was so happy when Steph
that
got
was
it.
nice, but because people were making such a big deal out of him not winning the first 3 years. It would be no slight to Jokic at all if Murray wins the Western Conference.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.